Hey, you beautiful twin flames, and welcome back to Tarot for You 444. I've got a really cool message for you today, and we're gonna do a check-in with the divine masculine. But I just wanted to say that I feel like the goalposts, from a psychic medium perspective, I feel like the goalposts are moving closer for many of you with regards to your twin flame union, in the physical, that is. So what I want to do today is talk a little bit about where the divine masculine's at, and a little bit about his headspace, and a little bit about his emotional space as well. The divine masculine sort of doesn't experience the same or have the same experience as the feminine. I think I'm going to make some videos related to this concept really soon, actually. But I know many of you are kind of wanting to know, where your divine masculine's at right now. So you can hear me shuffling the cards. I decided just to do audio today. And sometimes I'm just guided by spirit to do that. So we have this wonderful feeling coming up in the next 6 months. For many of you, the next 6 months will be pivotal. And there is some wonderful news on the way for many of you. And also there's going to be reunions coming. Sunflowers are here as well, to tell the truth. And the feminine, as long as she stays in her lane, I'm going to say it like that, as long as she stays in her lane and spends time with herself and with spirit, she's going to see the miraculous nature of the journey unfold. So let's head into the masculine now and see where his headspace is at. And we're also going to go a little bit in depth emotionally with him today as well. All right, so let's get ready to rumble, as we might say. We have this feeling of loss in the recent past. I feel like I haven't been able to communicate with you as much or as often because I've had either a person, a place, or situations, or all three, in the way of us coming together. So for many of you, you might be at a distance. For some of you, they might be in a partnership, or you might be in a partnership, or there might be some kind of job or project in the way of you coming together in the physical. So he's saying, I don't like this. I don't like that you're over there and I'm over here. And he's kind of doing this whole thing where he's got head down, bum up, getting himself into, organising for Christmas, or, organising for that job, or doing some kind of thing like that. So his commitment is on other things, so that he doesn't have to worry about you. Not because he doesn't want to talk to you, but he's just kind of, I don't know, it's kind of like, I'm getting the imagery of a duck when it's time to eat, and their head's bobbing, and it's, they're paddling madly, and, the head keeps ducking under to eat the fish. You know what I mean? It's like that. He's kind of like, I'm so busy. I'm like, I'm like a duck at feeding time. I don't know why that's a funny analogy to get, but that's kind of what he's saying. So you are always on his mind. You are always in his thoughts. And this is the secret that he kind of wants you to know and doesn't want you to know at the same time. So if you already have exchanged, a loving connection with your masculine, then yes, he wants you to know this. But if you haven't, and he's a little bit shy, then he's kind of like a little bit embarrassed to say it out loud. So let's get a little bit more depth of what he thinks about the connection between you and him. Even if you haven't spoken for a while, you know, what's his thoughts about the connection? You know, these are his innermost private thoughts. Okay, we're ready. Wow, really interesting. Some of you had a fight with your masculine in the past, or a disagreement of some kind. And for some of them, they sort of want to say, let's just let bygones be bygones. You know, let's just leave that where it should stay in the past. For some of them, they have a karmic that broke their heart. They could still be in a relationship with a karmic, and they feel very confused by the relationship. You know, even if they're posting on social media that they're having a wonderful time, or that they're madly in love, or something to that effect, the truth is really hidden there. That's not the truth at all, in fact. So if your masculine has said to you in the past that he's really happy in his current connection or something like that, he's actually not now. So he may have been when he said it to you, but he's not now. Something's changed in the dynamic, and he can't really put his finger on it. So it's kind of like this thing where he might think, well, I used to feel, you know, a certain way about my karmic, if this applies, but I don't really anymore. I kind of feel like it's become this routine that I have to do. Or there's a loss of spark because he met you. That's what he wants to say. When I met you, you kind of changed everything around for me. So since I met you, I can really feel that I want to walk towards you, but I don't know how. This is for those of you in separation. The karmic is also coming through as someone who can become bitchy, take gender how it resonates, but someone who can be perhaps even emasculating or arrogant in some kind of way. And this is the reason why he either wants to get out of the marriage with the karmic, or the reason why he's never married the karmic. Because for some of them, they haven't ever married their partners. You know, some of them might have been together 10 years and they're not married, let's say. So he has another thing to tell you now, and this is the truth about how he feels about you sexually. He finds it difficult to hold back sexually. In fact, he can see himself with you in a permanent kind of way. He just doesn't feel like he's got enough means monetarily to make this a thing. So this is why many of them feel as though they've taken a little step back from the journey, because they kind of go, well, as much as I want it, as much as you calm me, as much as you nurture me, as much as I feel safe with you, I really don't have enough to give you in terms of physicality and resources. And so he becomes a little bit defensive. Maybe he doesn't message as often, or maybe he sort of says, you know, I'm doing X, Y, and Z right now. I'm busy with projects or something like that. So he kind of puts the mockers on the journey a little bit with you, because he doesn't want to deceive you and say, you know, I've got all this property, or I've got all this money, or I've got all these things. And, you know, for some of you, you're dealing with someone who is perhaps in the media, or perhaps is, for some of you, you have someone who is famous that you know, and some of you have people who, you know, mix in higher circles, let's just say. So it may seem as though they have a lot and they don't have as much as you think. That's what's coming through. I don't know, maybe, you know, maybe they've extended their credit card out, or maybe they've, you know, bought too many properties, or, you know what I mean? So it's this, even if they do have a lot, even if they have more than you, they still don't see that they have a lot. And that will resonate for some of you and not all of you. So what is his deepest, darkest secret? Let's just little delve into that right now. Some of the divine feminines are over indulging at the moment. That's the other message coming through. Maybe you're spending too much on things, or maybe you're eating too much or drinking too much, or maybe some of you have used drugs in the recent past. Spirit are saying to stop it. Stop doing that and start taking care of yourself better. Part of being on the spiritual journey is understanding that less is more. Wow, this is a great secret, actually. This secret is something that you may not be expecting, divine feminine. He actually feels, what's the word I want to use here? He doesn't know whether he's good enough for you. And this is coming through in a very sexual way. So, you know, even if he looks sexy, even if he's got all the goods, however you want to understand that, he feels a little bit unattractive at the moment. He doesn't feel as though he's got it. You know, it's kind of like, will you still love me tomorrow? I don't know all the words to that song, but something like, tonight you're mine, my darling. Do 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 do, da 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 da. Will you still love me tomorrow? He's a little bit self-conscious at the moment. He wants to know if you would really desire him, even if he didn't have all of the right words for you, or all of the things that you need, or maybe he's got some, you know, dark secrets that he might not want to share with anyone but you. You know, if you really knew me, are you sure you'd still love me? You know? He's got some secrets here. He wants to apologize in advance for how heavy he is. And, you know, not in the literal sense, but how heavy some of his burdens are. Some of the things he's seen. Some of the things that have broken his heart, some of the decisions that he's made. You know, I'm not this perfect guy. Take gender how it resonates. You know, the universe, if you knew what the universe knew about me, maybe you would think I'm a little bit immature, or maybe you would think that I made some of the wrong decisions in my life. So he's being real here. He's trying to be real with you. Are you sure? Are you sure? Many divine feminines are feeling guided to reach out to their divine masculines at this time, and they need you to do that. If you're feeling guided, if you're getting 860 billion synchronicities coming through right now, and you feel guided to reach out to your divine masculine, then reach out. There's no time like the present if you feel guided to do that. Not all of you will. Let's see what else he wants to say. He says, I want to explain something to you. He says, I think you deserve an explanation. I think you deserve an explanation. Let's see what he wants to say. Yeah, I'm a little bit afraid to take this leap of faith with you. And for those of them who have a karmic, you know, if they're married or in a partnership with someone else, they're afraid of the, they're afraid of leaving that situation to come into a situation with you because they're not 100% sure that you'd stay. And it's something they've been thinking about for the last 4 weeks. And for many of them, you have been in communication with your divine masculines for over a year or about a year. And for those of you who've known your divine masculines for more than a year, some of them have been hurt in the past. And this is why they don't want to rush in case you turn out to be a maybe. So the divine masculine really needs you right now to say, I'm here and I'm not going anywhere. So maybe you could, you know, if you text or call or video call or however you communicate with your divine masculine, even if it's in person, you can say, look, no matter what you've done in the past, I'm still here for you. They kind of need to hear that. They need to hear that you're there for them no matter what, because if you only give a maybe, they feel as though they'd be less likely to leave the karmic for you. So when they know that you're all on board, that's when the leap of faith can possibly happen as a potential here. And I've got that potential coming up in the next 7 weeks. Really interesting. So there's been some tough energy recently for the twin flame journey, and the divine masculines have been kind of, like I say, you know, head down, bum up into their work or into their project or organizing for Christmas or finishing off, you know, that work before Christmas or stuff like that. You know, they've been busy. And they have been thinking about you a lot, but they're also trying to be realistic. You know, I don't know, like, you know, maybe she says she loves me, but if she really knew everything about me, she might change her mind. If she knew how depressed I was, she might change her mind. If she knew, you know, that I nap in the afternoon, she might change her mind. If she knew that I wasn't as rich as I portray myself to be, maybe she'd change her mind. Or, you know, maybe I don't have that property that she would want me to have. So he's thinking very much in terms of 3D reality rather than fifth dimensional consciousness. So he's kind of a little bit stuck in the third dimensional consciousness, moving into the fourth. But for those awakened divine masculines, they're not fussed about X, Y, and Z. They're not, you know, they're on this slow train to union, knowing that when divine timing and when they get the green light from God or whoever they believe in, that's when they're going to come in. So I find it really interesting. We have this segregation of awakened masculines and unawakened masculines right now. The awakened masculines are taking their time. They're being frugal, and they're understanding that, you know, they have enough spirituality or enough know-it-all or enough energetic vibrational influence coming to them to know when to do what they need to do. So they're taking over and they're leading the journey right now. So those of you who are in that part of the journey, congratulations. I see unions coming in the next 6 months. So what are we in now? December. December, January, February, March, April, May. From now until May, we're seeing massive unions, planetary, on the planet, planetary unions coming to light. The awakened masculines are shedding light on the world, and it's amazing. It's amazing that I just said the world and then I picked up the world card. They are doing a lot of transmuting, and they are doing a lot of energetic work for the new grid, for the new timeline that's going to come about. And so the reason the twin flame journey has been not put on hold, but they're kind of stopping to do their mission work in between. So a lot of awakened masculines right now will be helping family, or fixing some kind of community thing, or working hard to help their their cousin or their brother or something like that, in the family business, or doing something related to helping community or family, or even the world in some kind of way. Maybe they've got a recycling business, or maybe they've got maybe they help, they do podcasts, or they do something that helps people in life. The awakened masculines know they're in love, and the unawakened ones who are still in the third dimensional consciousness, fourth dimensional consciousness, they are awakening as the divine feminine takes a step away. So the most important thing for the divine feminine now is to stop looking on social media, is to stop chasing any form of, any form of gratification from the masculine in the 3D, even though she's being guided right now to send her masculine a message. So if you've had 1,000,001 synchronicities, and you've seen your twin flame's name, and you're seeing 111 and 1111 and all of these crazy synchronicities, and you haven't reached out to your masculine, you really feel like you are desperately needing to do that, then take the leap of faith and do that. But if you're not being guided synchronistically, then don't. Okay. The divine masculine just wants to say, as a last effort here, that he has got a dilemma. He wants you to be assertive and dominant in your life, but he also wants you to be nurturing and loving for him. So he's seen women who are way too assertive, and he's seen women who have worked on themselves so much that they seem like they don't need their masculines. And he doesn't want you to be that. He wants you to be strong and beautiful, but he also wants you to need him. I needed you and you were there. Though I'll never leave, why should I leave? I'd be a fool. 'Cause I finally found someone who really cares. You held my hand when it was cold. Da 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 da. Do you put me high up on a pedestal, so high that I can almost feel eternity. You needed me. You needed me. So he wants to be needed by you. These, I want to say these new swanky women who don't need a man, and they're kind of like, whatever, I can click my fingers and buy my own shoes. He wants you to be able to do that, but he also wants to be needed. So if we go back in time, and even if we went back into the 1950s, let's say, where most women were doing the housework and cooking and cleaning and all of those things for their man, He likes that idea that he could be the breadwinner. Or for some of them, they like the idea that, maybe you don't know how to fix that thing that they do and they can do it for you. So it's wonderful that women, or any gender for that matter, can do what they like, and learn a lot of skills. But he doesn't want you to become so robotic emotionally that you don't need him anymore. Okay? And his promise for the future is, and I'll never leave, why should I leave? I'd be a fool, 'cause I finally found someone who really cares. This connection is soul deep. This connection isn't about physicality. It's not about sex. It's not about any of those things. It's about two beautiful, wonderful hearts coming together and connecting. And that's what he needs to see in you to be able to trust you, Divine Feminine. If you're in separation, he needs to see the heart of you. Okay, the sweetness in you, the nurturing in you, the love in you. Okay, because anyone can go online and search for hot bodies and hop onto the hookup or whatever those sites are that you can, I don't know, you can hook up with people overnight or whatever. That's not what he's looking for, and that's not what you should be looking for either, Divine Feminine, because the title of Divine Feminine is a gift. Divine Feminine should be acting divine. You should be utilizing your body, your mind, and your soul in ways that are divine. So some of you, unfortunately, need to have a little think about that. Where are you placing your time? Who are you giving your body to? What are you doing in terms of, your energy? Who are you giving your energy to? Who are you giving your time to? Are you being negative? Are you being bitter? We need to step over the bitterness and imagine it's like a speed hump on the road, and we need to step over it and become pure and loving and angelic whilst we're here on the earth. So I hope this reading resonates for you, and if you need me, don't forget I have 10% off all my services right up until Christmas Day, and you'll get a free negative energy removal for both you and your twin when you book a 1-hour reading with me. I'm sending you so much love and light from Australia, and I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day, night, afternoon, evening, or morning, wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you real soon. Bye, everyone. Bye.